Hi, Cindy. If you could just lead us through some of your pieces here at the exhibit, that would be great.
Okay.
Cindy Morey.
Yes, thank you, Jack. I'd be happy to do that. So I kind of grew up on a farm back east, upstate New York, and that got me into the love of animals, but it also got me into the world of nature and what supports what. And what are the patterns that go together? Like even a bale of straw. How do you weave those things together to come out like a perfect square bale? So that got me into photography at a very early age because of my love of animals. Then in the 80s, I went to Africa for 3 months by myself. I spent a week on Kilimanjaro, and the rest of it was photographing wildlife and patterns in wildflowers, the uniqueness of the environment, and so forth. And I've lived in Irish Beach for about 20 years now, and this, as anybody knows, even if you're not a photographer, is a photographer's dream, not to mention a paradise. And so what I've gotten into is some of the beautiful areas that I hike in. I'm getting into abstracts now. So this is one of my favorite hikes in Sea Ranch. Many people may recognize this as they hike down there. But this is an example of some of the beautiful areas on the coast. This is for my love of architecture, textures, and the way things weave together. I love the moon. I love the sky up here. The clouds are amazing. This was one I happened to capture on the night that was just an interesting color. And this was a staircase on a lighthouse in Florida that I took a couple months ago. And I love shells and anything to do with the beach, so I thought this was kind of interesting as a nautilus. Again, the curl, the pattern, the abstractness of nature. This is what I'm calling chaos, and it's a picture that I took of a vase through a window, and it just reminded me of a little bit of life and how chaotic it can be. Another wonderful sunset from Irish Beach, which I see almost every night. And then over here, we've got another pattern of a nautilus. It's completely different. And this is another abstract of mine that I liked, again, with the swirl, with the abstract, with the movement. Over here, it's an actual sand dune from Florida. And to me, it stopped me in my tracks and looked like a Picasso, again, of nature. Just the interesting lines of how the sand went. This thing probably would have changed dramatically in just a matter of seconds had the wind come up. Bowling Ball Beach at very low tide. Cuffy's Cove up in Elk. This is a triptych of the drive through 128 through the Redwoods, which is a beautiful drive if you're coming up on 128. Again, a beautiful opening of trees down at one of the areas in Sea Ranch. And again, my love of nature, patterns, and macro photography with the 2 butterflies with raindrops on them. And that's basically the collection I have today. I have another wall over there that we don't have to go through, but that's my photography that stays here all the time. Whereas this is what I'm portraying right now for the featured artist in June. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Cindy.
Okay.
Okay, Michelle, if you'll just walk us through some of your pieces in this exhibit, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you. This piece is called Emerging. This started off with a lot of black and white in the background and scribbles, which you can kind of see. And then over time, probably over a period of about 6 months, it evolved into more of a colorful piece with a kind of subtle heart shape, which is emerging from the earth. So that was sort of what happened in this piece.
What media are you working in there,
This is
Michelle?
all acrylic and some mixed media, some soft pastels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, these pieces are inspired by an artist called Cranston Toller, who's from a Canadian, who's a figure skater, well known for figure skating in Canada, but he became an artist, and he was did these wild women with lots of embellishments. So I really liked him, and so these are sort of a takeoff on him. And some of these are in they're in acrylic pen, watercolor, and ink. Okay.
Yep.
And then this piece I did about 2.5 years ago, and it was inspired by Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, and it's called Field of Hope. So the yellow sunflowers, and that's that. And then these are all acrylic and some mixed media, all on wood. And these are part of a heart series. I have about 12 of them. This is 3 of them. They are acrylic and pen on paper, and they are abstract. They started out just very simple, and then I add just various things as my mind just kind of wanders as I'm doing them. So just a heart series. This one is called My Garden, because you can sort of see it's got different things that you might find when you walk out into a garden. This is called The Gifts of My Heart. There's just little pieces of gold in here. And then this one is My Vessel, because you can sort of see that there's a container with a little ducky coming out of it. So, yeah. All acrylic on wood panel with more muted colors and more abstract bays of poppies, perhaps, or some people see it as tulips. And then this little series here is inspired by my travels to Mexico. And this is depicting a city from afar, a town from afar. And this is perhaps looking from an airplane coming down. And there's a little bit of confusion about what country it's from. It is not from Mexico necessarily. You see a disheveled flag in there. And then this is from the airport looking out.
Okay, thanks a lot, Michelle.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.